In this video, we're going to look at the effects of a change in the personal tax rate. The experiment here is taken from the multi-country model workbook by Ray Fair from section 3.3. The aim is to look at the effects of a change in the personal tax rate which is consistent with a 1% increase in federal transfer payments. To look at this, we need to first of all create a base solution, which we assume that has already happened, and then we need to set the personal tax rate as an override variable. So to do that, I click on Scenarios, and under Scenario 1 Overrides, I'm going to type in D1G, which is the personal tax rate. Click on OK. That's now set D1G as an override variable. But I still need to create a set of values for that for the simulation. We now need to set values for D1G for the simulation period. This is not a particularly easy thing to do here because it's not simply a matter of increasing or decreasing the value of D1G. Instead, we need to choose values of D1G which are consistent with a 1% change in federal transfer payments. The commands I'm going to use follow those from the multi-country model workbook, and I've set them up in a program here. We have first of all a command to set the sample period, then a command here to set the values of the series D1G during the simulation period, which depends upon GDP in the base period and various other variables during the base period. And then we set the sample to the period for which we want to solve the model, 2014-1 to 2021-4. If I run this program, that will set values for D1G, and now I can solve the model by clicking on Solve, making sure the active scenario is Scenario 1. Click on OK, and the model will now start to solve. Once we've carried out the Scenario 1 simulation, then we can look at the effects on the endogenous variables of the model. For example, suppose we want to look at the effect on real GDP. We can type in the following command: show GDPR underscore 0 and GDPR underscore 1. These will give us real GDP for the US economy in the base solution underscore 0 and in the Scenario 1 solution underscore 1. We can also look at the percentage difference between the series by putting in 100 multiplied by GDPR underscore 1 divided by GDPR underscore 0 minus 1. Hit return and it brings up the following spreadsheet. Now notice this is the effect of a cut in the personal tax rate, because what we're looking at here is equivalent to an increase in federal transfer payments. So we're looking here at an expansionary effect. So we see here an increase in GDP relative to the base solution, and we see that this is having its peak effect again in about 2015 quarter 3.